Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is going to be a very, very important segment. This is really important because what took place with Rod Rosenstein today, the fact that he is going to resign, the fact that President Trump has wrestled away the government from Hillary Clinton, slowly but surely wrestled away the government. This is a precursor to eventual Clinton indictments. Clinton will eventually get indicted. And whether it's Trump's first term or second term, she's eventually going to get indicted. I've been saying this for years. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams, to interact with my amazing audience. And thank you so very much for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, also check out my latest Second Amendment upload, Glock 29 10 millimeter. Check that out. I'm building that channel. If you enjoy firearms, check it out. If you watch gun channels on YouTube, please go ahead and refer my channel, HA Second Amendment. Like I said, I tried a Glock 29 in the latest upload just an hour ago, 2 hours ago. So the 10 millimeter, Kim, it was the Glock 20. I think is a little bit easier to shoot. Rehoboth Farm, hello. But I think I was okay with the Glock 29. It does pack a punch. There is some recoil there. Hello, everyone. Let's get started. So before we get to the fact that the Inspector General, Michael Horowitz, will come out with a report, and the report will say, well, it's very likely that Comey and Strzok and McCabe and Clapper and Brennan probably bended the rules a little bit, but golly gee, we can't see any criminal activity because it's the government looking at the government. And so the IG report will be very similar to the IG report about the Clinton email investigation. Well, there could have been bias. There could have been bias. We don't know. There could have been bias when Peter Strzok texted his lover, "My love, pumpkin bear, I hate Trump with every fiber of my being, and I wish that Space Force would just, take him into space so he would orbit the Milky Way and never come back to the United States of America and then be lost in space forever and ever. So we would never see Trump again. We'll stop him. Trump voters are smelly. This is a send." Gee, you think that was a little bias? Alexander M. Gonzalez. Bernie donating salary to government works. That's good. Excellent. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you. And I love you for watching. I used to be just as hardcore as you, believe me. M&P, yes, I have, Revco, I have, and M&P is very good. Very good. A 9 millimeter. I shot the M&P. It is very good. I agree with you. So Jordan renews calls for Rosenstein to testify. So Representative Jim Jordan, the ranking Republican, this is in the Hill, the ranking Republican of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, renewed his call on Wednesday for Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein to testify before Congress following reports from multiple news outlets he will resign in the coming weeks. Jordan, in a sharply worded statement, demanded that Rosenstein explain to Congress a report from the New York Times late last year that whenever someone goes to you and says, "Hi, honey, how are you?" Speaking to this mic right here. Speaking to the mic. They're probably taping you. I'm still working hard to get you and Kyle to debate. I would love to debate Kyle Kalinske. He will not debate me. So I have a great deal of respect for Kyle Kalinske. Anytime he would like on my channel, I will debate him on the fact that Democrats will never pass, House Democrats will never pass Medicare for all legislation. They will never pass a Green New Deal legislation for a Green New Deal. They will never pass any. They will never abolish ICE. I would love to debate. He's a wonderful human being, very intelligent, has a very successful channel. I would love to debate Kyle Kalinske on whether or not he would still promote the Democratic nominee if Bernie was cheated again, because that's what he did. He said he told his viewers to support Clinton in swing states while he voted for Jill Stein. I don't know if that's really, with all due respect, I don't know if that's really making the oligarchy. That would make the oligarchy, put fear in the oligarchy. But anyway, I would love to debate Kyle Kalinske. He's a very intelligent guy with a very successful channel, and I would love to debate him anytime he wants. You can reach out to me. Rumi Carlos! Hi, honey. Just speaking in the mic. Rumi, speak into this mic right now. Thank you, Rumi. Rumi Carlos, thank you so very much, Rumi. You are just a wonderful soul, supporting this channel. And oh yes, he did tell people to vote for. If you go onto his wiki page, he did. Was a wiki Kyle Kalinske. Rational wiki right here. And he did. He voted for Jill Stein in the 2016 presidential election. Okay. However, he encouraged viewers living in swing states to vote for Hillary. So that's that he told people to vote for Hillary. Okay, this is after she cheated Bernie. Okay, no shame in that, but this is his rational wiki right here. However, he encouraged viewers living in swing states to vote for Hillary in order to keep Trump out of the White House. So that is 100% accurate. I love you, Alexander, but he did. No, he said vote for Hillary in swing states. I just read you the rational wiki. And he also, he's on his videos saying the same thing. But anyway, Rumi Carlos, thank you, Rumi. Beautiful name, beautiful person. Rumi, thank you. Thank you, Rumi, very, very, very much, as always. And there's no shame in that. Just, that's the reality. That's not a diss. It's just the reality. He said, vote for Hillary in swing states after she cheated Bernie Sanders. It's fine. That's just, but anyway, so Paul Sperry, Rumi, thank you again. Paul Sperry has a very, very interesting tweet today. Thank God I'm not on Twitter, but he has a very, very, very interesting tweet. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein leaving his Justice Department job ahead of a Justice Department Inspector General's report on alleged misuse of FISA warrants against Trump advisors by justice officials, including one signed by Rosenstein himself. So, by the way, if Kyle Kalinske or anybody wants to reach me, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. And I would love to debate. I'll debate anybody at the Young Turks. I love Jimmy Dore. I love Jimmy Dore. But I would debate anybody on a whole bunch of things regarding Bernie Sanders and this new revamped Beto O'Rourke. If it worked for Beto, my new name is Rico Suave Sanders. So contact goodman78@gmail.com. If you have a platform you want to debate, let's rock it. Would be honored to debate Kyle Kalinske. Big honor, big honor. Rumi, thank you. As always, thank you, Rumi. So yeah, if you want to I'm starting a newsletter also. If you want to be part of that newsletter, contact goodman78@gmail.com. I'm not good at checking it every day, but I have to check it. So, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein leaving his Justice Department job ahead of the Inspector General's report on alleged misuse of FISA warrants against Trump advisors by justice officials, including one signed by Rosenstein himself. Trump has the Senate Judiciary Committee. Trump very well might pick another Supreme Court justice. It better be Amy Coney Barrett. Press 1 if you want Amy Coney Barrett to be the next Supreme Court justice, if heaven forbid, Ruth Bader Ginsburg needs to retire. Joe, yes, my man. Press. I have the best. You understand? I have the best chat in all of YouTube. The best chat. My God, that was good. I haven't laughed this hard. That was good too, Alexander. I haven't laughed this hard. Joe, where are you? You're way up there. My God, that was funny. That was good. That's good. Anyway, so Michael Horowitz is going to have his report, and oh my God, it's going to be, well, we think it could be possibly, but really everything's okay. And William Barr, I am pinning my hopes to William Barr. Could he possibly disappoint? Absolutely. Absolutely. He could disappoint. Absolutely. But William Barr, let's just read William Barr, shall we? William Barr Comey letter. Now, this is, if you have prepared for this live stream by doing certain things, you will be more than vindicated, because this is what H.A. Goodman is all about. Opinions, Washington Post. James Comey did the right thing. William Barr, our new Attorney General. William Barr. Huber is making sure he does nothing. He was an abomination, just like Sessions. William Barr. William Barr was Attorney General from 1991 to 1993. He is supporting Donald Trump in the presidential election. William Barr should have been his first choice. We could have saved 2 years of insanity, but let's continue. So William Barr, the continuing refrain from Hillary Clinton supporters. So this is the context, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, 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 very important. Okay? This is what, and Rumi, thank you again. This is why this segment is so important. Rosenstein's leaving. William Barr is coming in. Look what he said. He basically said the same thing that I did regarding the Comey letter and regarding William Barr is essentially an extension of this channel, the new Attorney General, aside from the fact that I want Americans home from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. But aside from that, he's going to be the Attorney General. He won't make policy. But James Comey did the right thing, meaning writing the Comey letter. Comey letter is what helped sink Clinton's campaign. And it wasn't even the letter. It was her horrific behavior. That was the issue. Her behavior was the issue. Her criminal activities. That's the issue. So this is William Barr, the new Attorney General. The continuing refrain from Hillary Clinton's supporters and the observers that FBI Director James B. Comey's action was contrary, meaning writing the Comey letter. This is written a week before the election, by the way. This op-ed that William Barr wrote. The continuing refrain from Hillary Clinton's supporters and other observers that FBI Director James Comey's actions was contrary action was contrary to Justice Department policies, flatly wrong. So he's saying, heck yeah, he should have written the letter. He had to write the letter. Given the particular circumstances facing Comey, it is absurd. While I do not agree with everything done and said over the summer in connection with the email investigation, that's very diplomatic for, yeah, it was a cover-up. I think that last week Comey had no choice but to issue the statement he did. Indeed, it would have violated policy had he not done so. William Barr is saying very clearly, that the Comey letter was needed primarily because Clinton was such a criminal. Earlier this year, everyone was calling for a responsible investigation and a rapid resolution into the email matter. The FBI pushed ahead, and in July, Comey announced that the matter had been thoroughly investigated and that he would not recommend prosecution. The announcement was a great boon to the Clinton campaign. She touted it as vindication. In the wake of Comey's announcement, her poll numbers appreciably improved. The FBI then discovered that the investigation had not, in fact, been a complete one. Dun, dun, dun. The FBI then discovered that the investigation had not, in fact, been a complete one. This is before We'll Stop Trump text. So think of all the information. Think of all the information that William Barr does not know on October 31st, 2016, when he's writing this. William Barr, the new Attorney General, is writing this, saying that it was not a thorough investigation. He knew that from the get-go, but he did not know that there's classified emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop. He did not know that at that point. He did not know that. Okay, he did not know that Hillary Clinton kept more emails away from the government that Tom Fitton and Judicial Watch found out about. He didn't know that there were even more classified emails. He didn't know about the Strzok page texts. He didn't know about Andrew McCabe and a grand jury investigating him right now regarding him lying to the FBI about his leak of the Clinton Foundation investigations that he eventually just did everything possible not to investigate. Okay, he didn't know that eventually there would be this ridiculous, nonsensical Mueller probe into nonsense. He never committed a crime. Trump never committed a crime. Hillary Clinton did. But see, that's the context. The FBI then discovered, so let's continue reading. The FBI then discovered the investigation had not, in fact, been a complete one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new Attorney General. He sounds like me. It appears that thousands of emails exist on a computer belonging to former Congressman Anthony Weiner and Clinton aide Uma Abedin that had not been turned over during the investigation. He didn't know when writing this that there was classified data on there. The failure of the Clinton camp to provide all pertinent evidence rendered Comey's July announcement misleading. And then, ladies and gentlemen, further vindication of poor H.A. Goodman, who is like a little voice in the wind, like a little gnat, little buzzing. I'm like a little mosquito. H.A. the mosquito Goodman. Just annoying, left and right, annoying. Still voting for Trump, 2020. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusion announced by Comey 3 months ago were therefore premature. This is the new Attorney General. It is Walter Payton. This is the new Attorney General. Thank you, William. This is the new Attorney General. Tell me how much I love this line. I'm going to fall asleep tonight to this line. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusions announced by Comey 3 months ago
were therefore premature.
That's me tonight. The FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusions announced by Comey 3 months ago were therefore premature. What have I been saying for 2 years? Every single day, every single moment on this channel, every single moment, every single day, my daily caller articles. Like a dog on a bone, H.A. Goodman's on the case. Thank you, Freedom Fighter. Thank you. So the FBI's investigation was not comprehensive and not complete, and the conclusion announced by Comey 3 months ago were therefore premature. Clinton will get indicted eventually. I've been saying this. I've been saying this forever. And if the wonderful progressive pundits who wanted Medicare for all and $15 minimum wage and abolishing ICE, the only way to get that done is one of the ways is to ensure that Clinton gets indicted, so that the entire edifice of the corporate, oligarchy, whatever you want to, the power structure in the Democratic Party that cheats all the time and blames Russia for cheating Bernie Sanders, and then Bernie Sanders is on it, and he says, oh yeah, Russia wanted you to know that I was glistening, my abdominals were glistening in a buff Bernie coloring book. Putin has no regard for my welfare, and thus he sent a buff Bernie coloring book with me without my shirt on. Although I have to say I did look very buff with my glistening body. Robert Perryman, never give up the ship. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert Perryman. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year to you. Thank you. My new name is Bernardito Rico Suave. If the FBI remains silent, this is William Barr, if the FBI remains silent about the newly discovered incompleteness of its earlier investigation, again, he doubles down on everything I've been saying. William Barr is the man. It would be deliberately leaving uncorrected a misleading statement being used by the Clinton campaign to its political advantage. Thus, failure to correct the record would have been deceitful and would have represented a political decision to influence the election by leaving in a misleading statement. At this point, the right choice was honesty, explaining the new emails had been found and would have to be reviewed. Ladies and gentlemen, he can start a special counsel the moment he gets in. Democrats are not going to ask him about Clinton emails because they're not going to give him ammunition. The moment he gets in, he can fire Mueller or force Mueller to give his dumb report where, oh my God, there's smoke but no fire. Oh my God. And then he can just start a Clinton email investigation based on any of the information from Judicial Watch, any of the information from anyone else. To the extent this step might affect the election, its effect arises from correcting a previous erroneous statement. In other words, from truthfulness. The guy is smart. Comey's erroneous statement was that, well, there was nothing, wrong there, all that stuff. Gabbers! Here's to not comprehensive. Yes. Yes. Gabbers, thank you. Gabbers. Thank you so much, Gabbers. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Gabbers. Thank you. It's true. Here's to not comprehensive. Exactly. Brian Cutliff, thank you. Much is being made of the point that Comey does not know whether the new trove of emails is significant. Okay, when he wrote this, he didn't know that there were classified emails. Look, this is so... Stance, thank you. So say H predicted. Just say H predicted. If someone says Q predicted, no, say H predicted. H predicted.
H predicted it. H predicted. Goodman predicted.
That misses the point. The two critical facts conveyed to the public in July were that the investigation was completed, and that based on that completed investigation, no prosecution was warranted. Of course, prosecution was warranted. That's why Peter Strzok deleted 5 references to gross negligence in the original speech Comey was about to recite, and James Baker said that she should have been indicted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest espionage case. This is the biggest cybersecurity debacle, national security concern in U.S. history. She had a server outside the United States government that was hacked by the planet with special access program intelligence and top secret intelligence. Why don't people understand this? I'm not talking about everyone here. I'm talking about just everyday people. I'm talking about Democratic pundits. I'm talking about people on the Mueller probe. All the wonderful intelligence community we're supposed to revere. She made a complete and utter mockery of the intelligence community. A complete and utter mockery. James Baker said indict T.J. Washington. Exactly, T.J. Washington. Exactly. The top legal counsel said, yeah, she should be indicted. Well, of course she should. When it all goes down and eventually she gets indicted, it's like, of course she should. I've been saying this for years. Disclosing these facts did not run afoul of the policy against commenting on investigations. There is nothing wrong with conveying such facts in cases of overriding public interest. It is done all the time, as for example in the House. Okay, that is all the Comey's letter said. The FBI now has to review more emails before it can say it has a completed investigation. In other words, Comey simply said the FBI had more work to do. And we know the FBI didn't even look through all the emails. Another complaint made is that in July, a Justice Department prosecutor, rather than the FBI, should have made the ultimate call on whether the facts justified prosecution. That is true. But in this case, it did not appear that Comey was usurping power so much as receiving a punt from the Justice Department. The department was all too happy to let Comey take the lead because his judgment would stand up as nonpartisan. Yeah, right. Now we know. So he didn't know back then that Comey presided over an absolute cover-up. Even I didn't know. If you look at my earlier videos, I'm like, please, FBI, you should ask her this question, FBI. Oh. And I didn't realize that it was like completely an extension of the Democratic Party, completely an extension of the Democratic Party. In any event, this criticism is irrelevant to whether he was right to inform Congress that his earlier statement that the investigation was complete was not true. And this is fantastic. He totally cuts through the manure. The claim that Comey's actions violated the Justice Department policy is just wrong. There is no policy, and never has been. The department should avoid any action that could affect an election. Rather, the policy has been twofold. First, prosecutors should not take any action for partisan reasons, which they did, which the Justice Department was completely partisan. Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren is completely partisan. Second, where the timing of an otherwise bona fide investigation or prosecutive step could affect the outcome of an election, those actions should be deferred absent as strong public interest that justifies taking the action before the election. Sometimes this requires difficult judgments. Here it did not. Indeed, if anything would have violated Justice Department policy, it would have been to remain mute and fail to correct the record. Finally, it must be remembered that this whole situation could have been avoided if those in the Clinton camp had provided all pertinent information to the FBI to begin with. There's where the 90s William Barr explains. Brian R., thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. That's where the 90s William Barr explains what's really going on. you know. So and that's the thing. That's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. He knows the Clintons. He's not stupid. He knows that the Clintons have thrust us into 2 years of insanity because of them losing the election and $1.2 billion. Clinton lost $1.2 billion down the drain. She's managed to make people, without even a focus on policy, people hate Trump without even a focus on policy. Like, there's not visceral hatred against tax cuts or tariffs. And there should be praise for North Korea, peace between North and South Korea, and bringing home Americans from never-ending conflict. They just hate Trump because of his personality, because the constant stream of fake news. He said this. Someone said he said this. He said that. No, he said this. Oh, my God. Meanwhile, Obama and Clinton destroyed Libya, and everyone's like, shrug shoulders, no problem, shrug shoulders. Then the Democrats are like, yeah, Medicare for all. They're not going to double to triple tax collection, which would be doubling to tripling tax rates. I mean, they're not going to do that. That would tank the economy. Meanwhile, you have people like Whoopi Goldberg saying, oh, yeah, you know what? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should not voice her thoughts. I mean, at the end of the day, she actually voted to fund Immigration and Customs Enforcement. She voted to fund Department of Homeland Security, and ICE is part of the Department of Homeland Security. So there you go. And I don't know where is the record that where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or anyone opposed Obama deporting 2.5 million people utilizing ICE. Where's the record? There is none. Finally, it must be remembered that this whole situation could have been avoided if those in the Clinton camp had provided all pertinent information to the FBI to begin with. They were looking for an early resolution of the matter, and it was in their interest to be as thorough as possible in supplying information to the government. Whether through an innocent oversight or not, they failed to do this. To the extent the timing of Comey's correction of the record is difficult for Clinton, it is a self-inflicted wound. You will not get any. You will not. Absolutely not. Exactly, Revco, exactly. From Agent I'm looking at Agent Pepsi right now. Hello, Agent Pepsi. From William Barr, you will not get any sympathy. You will not get any sympathy. And I love how Democrats are like, oh my God, Trump's shutdown is hurting so many people. Well, then be the bigger political party, the morally superior political party, and give in. Oh no, we can't do that. Oh, okay. So I mean, at a certain point, if you're blaming Trump and you can actually end the shutdown, you're not the morally superior. You're not the morally superior side. You just don't want to give him $5.6 billion, but you'll give him $45 billion every year to keep Americans in Afghanistan. You'll give tens of billions of dollars for Max Boot and Bill Kristol and interventionist foreign policy. No problem at all. But $5.6 billion for the wall, no. But for a fence, okay. So if you are saying, look at that person over there suffering, how dare you? If you have the ability to end that, then you give in. This is politics and negotiation. You know, at least get something for it. At least start negotiating with Trump. Get something for Trump. I mean, get something. So that's the thing. It's like Democrats, all they do is they say, well, we're morally superior. We're morally superior. Oops, you cheated Bernie Sanders. Oops, you blamed Russia with no. Oops, you want to send Americans, keep Americans abroad forever. They're only morally superior in their minds. They're only morally superior in their minds. They're not morally superior. That's the whole argument. The Medicare for all. They don't have access to healthcare. No, they don't have the money. People don't have money. That's why you have to grow the economy. People don't have money for the out-of-pocket costs from Medicare, the out-of-pocket costs for the Affordable Care Act. That's the issue. When people say, oh, well, President Obama spent $500 million for 5 rebels. What a great president. What an amazing president. It was foreign policy debacle after foreign policy debacle. Thank God I'm not on Twitter. Today must have been, every day, Twitter just feels like this claustrophobic, this claustrophobic, horrible corner of the internet. It's just horrible, horrible, horrible claustrophobic corner of the internet. So, and it's like, oh, Trump retweeted Charlie Kirk. Okay, so just left a meeting with Chuck and Nancy. Total waste of time. It's hurting the Democratic Party. So it's like, they're hilarious. Just left a meeting with Chuck and Nancy. Total waste of time. I asked what is going to happen in 30 days. I quickly opened things up. Are you going to approve border security, which includes a wall or steel barriers? Nancy said no. I said bye-bye. Nothing else works. So Trump doesn't need these people who are I feel bad for them, but that's the Democrats' fault. The Democratic base of power is DC. They're the ones who have to capitulate. And they voted for a fence. Just pretend it's a fence. What's the difference between a fence and a steel slat fence? Fence. What's the difference? They deport 2.5 million immigrants. So many things take place that I can't even say on this live stream because of YouTube policies. And, if I was free to explain, just read an excerpt from a Charles Bowden book, if I was free to do that, there are national security issues. A design of our steel barrier, which is totally effective while at the same time beautiful. Trump is hilarious. He's so funny. It's not beautiful. It's just a giant fence wall, steel slat, spiked steel slat, 50-foot tall steel spikes. It's not beautiful, but it's hilarious that he says it's beautiful. It's effective and beautiful. Trump walking out is a brilliant political move. Dems are unable to negotiate because the GOP has always caved to the Dems. Exactly. Exactly. Agent Pepsi 1. Exactly. He's not caving in. He's not caving in. Freedom Autopsy Report. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you for the kind words. 2019 is going to be a great. It's going to be great. It is going to be great. And it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, like, when when Nancy Pelosi gives in. These poor people who are working, they're like, this hurts the Democratic Party. It actually hurts Hillary Clinton. It really does. It really does. Because all those FBI agents who were like pulling for Clinton, they're not getting paid now. That is so funny. Let's see what AOC says. What? The Daily Caller has crossed the line? What? Why? What happened here? What? I don't even know like what they're talking about here. Oh, worked with Hillary Clinton. No wonder. She retweeted something. Okay. Oh my God. I don't even want to get into that. I don't even know what happened there. That's crazy. Let's see what the reality is. Eventually we'll find out. Top tax rates used to be much higher. So what? This isn't the Eisenhower administration or Kennedy or Johnson. The 50s and 60s are a while back. See, how about writing legislation? Oh, here we go. She's retweeting Vox. Hello. If Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was a real threat to the establishment, Vox would write hit pieces on her. The Daily Beast would write hit pieces on her like they do against Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a threat to the establishment, not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Tulsi Gabbard has the chance to win in 2024. Tulsi Gabbard is awesome. Tulsi Gabbard has strong a foreign policy where she wants to bring home Americans. She voted to fund ICE. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Gabbers. It's a beautiful. I don't know what that is. Gabbers, thank you, Gabbers, for always watching. Gabbers, thank you. And it's just like, How about if you really want, help write legislation promoting Medicare for all. Write Medicare for all legislation and push it. Why isn't that the first thing? So now it's like she's spending a great deal of time on internet beefs and internet battles. And meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi will never, ever, ever push for a top marginal tax rate of 90 or 70 or 80% or whatever. She would never even, when you don't have Nancy Pelosi pushing for it, it ain't going to happen. So notice how Schumer and Pelosi and the establishment and the Daily Beast and Vox and the New York Times and the Washington Post, notice how they're not really writing hit pieces. Notice how that when Bernie Sanders, and this is for the progressives who still watch me, when Bernie Sanders was up and coming, when I was writing and my articles were going viral, and I was saying he was going to win because in a fair election, he would have won the primary and he would have won the presidency, I believe. Because at that moment, the swing states, if he had the full backing of the Democratic Party, swing states that didn't vote Republican would never vote, would have voted Democrat, continued the trend. Because Michigan and Pennsylvania haven't voted for a Republican since the 80s, and Wisconsin. I'm glad Trump won. What my point is, because in hindsight, I think Bernie would have been just a tool of the Democratic Party like he is now. But what I'm saying, and the main reason I loved him is because he promised to end never-ending conflict, and it's Trump who's bringing home Americans. But my point is, you're not a threat to the establishment unless the Daily Beast is writing a hit piece on you like they wrote against me. I'm not that big of a, I'm like a small little guppy, but I was a tiny little annoyance and / tiny threat. And they wrote hit pieces on me and they wrote hit pieces. The Washington Post went after Bernie Sanders. They went after Bernie Sanders all the time. All the time. Thank you, Cheryl and Monroe. Thank you. Absolutely. Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Absolutely. Absolutely. Revco. Revco. Thank you, Revco. I can't say that out loud, but Revco, thank you. Gabbers, wall fence, Wentz. Oh. When Wentz is a steel Wentz. It's a fight, a white picket Wentz. No, that's the homeless walrus. The homeless walrus, this guy. Bolton. The bane of my existence, this guy. He's like, don't worry, everyone. Don't worry, everyone. We are gonna keep keep people there. Thanks, homeless walrus, Bolton. Trump knows what's up. At least he's trying, which would be better than any Democrat. At least he's trying. He's better than any Democrat, She retweeted Matthew Iglesias, who defended the 80. Matthew Iglesias wrote in Vox an article that defended the $156 million that was given by 85 donors to the Clinton Foundation. The $156 million. Talk about the oligarchy. $156 million. Want to read the whole article here? No, the AP, $156 million to the Clinton Foundation. Okay. Here's what, check this out. This is what Vox said was okay. The Associated Press combined, the 85 donors gave as much as $156 million. All 85 met Clinton. And Vox is like, oh, the money had nothing to do with it. At least 40 donated more than 100 grand. 20 gave more than $1 million. So wait a second. 20 people give more than $1 million to a foundation, and they meet the Secretary of State, and that's not a quid pro quo transaction for access? So, it's just it's unbelievable too. Like the amount of the flow of money that went through, the flow of money. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you so very much. Everyone, thank you. Gabbers Rumi, thank you so very much. Everyone, thank you. And we're going to have a great day tomorrow. We're going to have a great 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. If you want to contact H.A. Goodman, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Oh, please, please, please check out my latest segment on H.A. Second Amendment. This is a Glock 29. Somewhat difficult, but interesting firearm. Thank you so very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.